I once heard someone say that if an artist were asked to create the best player in the world, they would paint Lionel Messi. That if an engineer were told to construct the best player in the world, they would build Cristiano Ronaldo. If this is true, then Neymar, I think, would be the result from a computer scientist coding into an existing player who seems more from the realm of a FIFA video game than from real life. The level of his talent, his career has been unfulfilled. Someone who isn't just a typical footballer, but a once-in-a-lifetime entertainer. Neymar is the most skillful player in history. With the ball at his feet, there is an otherworldly elegance in his relationship to the game, one that causes you to hold your breath as Neymar builds speed toward the goal, then compels you to stand up, whether you're watching at home, in person, or at a bar with your friend gracelessly spilling beer on you as Neymar pulls his leg back to shoot, and then you just stare, mouth agape, as you watch the ball thunder into the back of the net. Neymar may have become the third best player of all time if he had been able to maintain that work ethic. Was he simply unfortunate with injuries, or did he play a role in his own demise? He's been in some ways his own worst adversary. Neymar's career is a mix of brilliance and scandal, and it's worth delving deeper into. It's critical that we start at the beginning, because in a country full of all-time greats like Pelé, Ronaldo, and Ronaldinho, Ney was destined to carry the torch for Brazilian football. Neymar's performance at age 17 had already piqued the interest of many other big clubs. Chelsea had launched a $20 million bid for Neymar, an exciting Brazilian forward. However, Neymar was determined to hone his craft in Brazil. He recently signed a 5-year contract with Santos to replace Chelsea, but Neymar still had the opportunity to impress in front of a larger audience. And then Neymar, unmarked in the box with a free header. But what a finish. Neymar scored a goal in his debut cap for his national team, but it wasn't until 2011 that he truly established himself on the international scene. His stunning single goal earned him the prized Puskas Award. Neymar. Yet despite this victory and over 100 goals for Santos, everyone knew Neymar was destined for the international scene. Neymar has agreed in principle to join Barcelona on July 1st. Neymar was hailed by almost 50,000 fans at the Camp Nou after completing a €57 million transfer from Santos. The 2013 Confederations Cup was Neymar's first test to justify his high price tag, and he passed with flying colors. Brazil won the tournament after scoring 4 goals, including one in the final against world champion Spain. Prior to his move to Barcelona, he had demonstrated unequivocally that he can compete with the top-tier opponents. He has indeed lifted this country. At this time, it's evident that Neymar will have a good career with Barcelona. However, his first season did not quite go as planned. Neymar didn't have a particularly successful debut season for Barcelona, but the Brazilian knew it was soon time for his moment. Welcome to Brazil, where the World Cup 2014 has already started. 2014. Neymar returns home from the World Cup. He felt much more at ease here, with the opportunity to be at the center of attention. Still, the pressure to succeed persisted. The nation's hopes rely on the shoulders of this young man. The squad is banking on his goal-scoring ability to win games. High expectations for his first World Cup, but Messi and Neymar are the major two anticipated to carry their respective countries. A huge duty. Brazilians began to question if this boy could actually reach Pelé's heights. We soon learned the solution. Neymar scores twice in the first half, his third and fourth goals of the tournament, helping Brazil defeat Cameroon 4-1 and move to the next round. Neymar demonstrated that he's a player for the big moment. On a good side, most of the names have shown up, haven't they? Neymar scored 4 goals, but it was in the knockout stages that the pressure mounted, as Neymar needed to score an important penalty to send Brazil through. That's a lot of pressure on young shoulders. Had to score. Neymar, it's a stumbling run, but then there's nothing stumbling about I don't think this is a man who understands the pressure and responsibilities. Hope was in the air as Neymar helped Brazil advance to the next round. Little did the fans know that their expectations would shortly be shattered. In the final seconds, Neymar, the star striker, is ruled out of the rest of the competition. He injured his third vertebrae in his back. It's fractured. A catastrophe for the home country. And all of a sudden, you're thinking, how will they do it now? Can they still do it? Germany dealt with a heartbreaking blow with a 7-1 massacre. It's difficult to put into words what occurred in Brazil on Tuesday, when they lost 7-1 to Germany in the World Cup semifinals. The fantasy was over, but Neymar still had unfinished business with Barcelona. He was pronounced totally fit following the back injury he sustained against Colombia. This is where things get intriguing though, since with new acquisition Luis Suarez on the roster, everything seemed to click. This almost telepathy between them, which has been evident throughout the season, is still present. Neymar, Messi, and Suarez. People can't defend them since they don't know where they'll be. The front three are phenomenally gifted, arguably the most talented forward three in world football history. MSN scored 120 goals and claimed a historic triple. Neymar doubled his goal tally from 15 to an incredible 38. The Brazilian had confirmed his arrival in La Liga, but one guy continued to dominate the headlines. Neymar believed he had the potential to be the star player, and the next season, he got his chance. The headline, however, must be Lionel Messi's MCL tear and a Barcelona victory against the Las Palmas over the weekend. Since Lionel Messi was injured, everyone in Barcelona expected Neymar to shine. The Clásico takes place in a few weeks. Could Neymar stand up in Messi's absence? We immediately received our response. Neymar broke the 30-goal milestone with Barcelona once more, helping the club win another league title. Is that all he wanted? Because it quickly became evident that Neymar's career was being eclipsed by two players, Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. Barcelona is the Messi city, while Madrid is the Ronaldo city. Every other footballer is in the shadow of Messi or Ronaldo. Yet there was a strong argument that Neymar would eventually win the prize Ballon d'Or. Neymar has a long career ahead of him, and while Messi is now at the peak of his powers, he will quickly degenerate, whereas Neymar is only 24 years old. Neymar put speculation about his departure to bed after pledging his devotion to Barcelona until 2021. With an annual salary of roughly 25 million in the Champions League, he had the opportunity to demonstrate his commitment to the team, as Barcelona was humiliated 4-0 in the first leg of the last 16 encounter against PSG. It would take a special individual to step up and help complete one of the most dramatic comebacks in Champions League history. In the 88th minute, Neymar steps up to pull Barcelona one step closer, but he's not done yet. In minute 91, he converted a clinical penalty to put the squad within one goal of victory. With the ref ready to blow his whistle at any time, Neymar's pass had to be inch perfect, and it was. Neymar was unquestionably the difference maker in Barcelona's remarkable comeback, but what came before was not what Neymar had expected. Neymar scored one from a direct free kick, one from a penalty, and assisted on Sergei Roberto's goal. But the image everyone saw was Lionel Messi doing it. It's Messi in the papers. Messi accomplished his comeback. It's not Neymar, and I believe it was the day when Neymar looked at Barcelona and Messi and said, I can be the best player in the world as long as I'm with this club. He needs to leave Barcelona. Neymar moved from Barcelona to Paris Saint-Germain for a whopping 200 million euros. The predominant emotion we experience is undoubtedly betrayal. Fans are outraged that Neymar is leaving Barcelona. However, Neymar must live up to the hype and the 220 million euro transfer cost paid for him. Neymar's path as a PSG player began after he refused to remain in Messi's shadow any longer. Despite being in a lower level, Neymar made it apparent early on that he was going to give it his best. The Brazilian has been in an excellent form and plays freely in the front three. Neymar is far too good for the French league. His dribbling, change of pace, and ability to shift the course of a game in an instant. Neymar got exactly what he wanted. He was the league's poster boy, but his quest for the top spot came at a high cost. Neymar was ruled out of the Champions League's second leg against Real Madrid due to a metatarsal injury. Neymar sustained a major injury that sidelined him for 3 months. Unfortunately for him, his injuries were only the beginning. He missed another 28 games the following season, leaving PSG without a key player for crucial matches, where the squad urgently needed someone to step up in his place. And who's better than Kylian Mbappe? Mbappe performed admirably in the absence of Neymar and Cavani. Neymar's club was losing followers, but everyone in his country still hoped he might deliver optimism at the 2018 World Cup. Neymar had a shot at redemption. However, things did not go as intended. Neymar was just collapsing to the ground with no touch. Time was running out for Neymar to reach his full potential, but injuries plagued him throughout his prime. They received their desired outcome 2 years later. Neymar was motivated to bring the Champions League back to Paris. Perhaps it was a personal issue. Perhaps Neymar is taking all of the insults against him personally. Neymar will have to demonstrate his awareness and capacity to act spontaneously. PSG paid him a lot to win, so he'll give it his all. The 2020 Champions League final pitted PSG against Bayern Munich, and the Champions League was within sight, but all expectations were dashed in the 59th minute. PSG and Neymar and the rest of the team had a fantastic run, but as I already stated, the best team in Europe eventually triumphed. And I would ask Neymar, why are you crying now? What are your tears going to do? At this time, PSG decided to take a new tactic. We begin with one of the most significant transfers in football history, Lionel Messi. Neymar was no longer trusted as the primary man. It was going to be his team, his vision, and his success. And while PSG came close, they fell short of what Neymar and PSG intended, which was to win the Champions League. Lionel Messi steps in. The main question was how Neymar would manage with being in the shadow of Lionel Messi. Neymar returned to help Messi, and things appeared to be going well early on. A 2-0 triumph over Manchester City gave fans confidence that victory would finally arrive, but that hope swiftly faded into disappointment. PSG's second-place result in group play landed them smack in the guts of the beast. Real Madrid, the eventual victors, trounced them easily. The situation deteriorated. The FIFA World Cup Qatar 2022 had finally arrived. He turned his ankle. They'll make an assessment. Either the swelling goes down and he can play again, or we may not see him again. He's struggling to be ready for Brazil's first knockout game. Just when Neymar thought it was all over, he was able to fully recover in time for the knockout stages. Neymar is back in training with Brazil ahead of their match against South Korea. Neymar may not be ready, but they say he's fit. All of a sudden, things begin to click, and Neymar, who had returned from injury and scored his first World Cup goal, is now one goal away from tying Pele's record for the most goals scored by the Brazilian national team. He couldn't have written a finer script for Neymar. Unfortunately, the script writers had other intentions, and Neymar had his time, but it was overshadowed. No, the World Cup dream was lost, as was Neymar's possibility of returning to his best. Neymar will miss the rest of the season, which is quite unfortunate. Of course, it's heartbreaking news for PSG that Neymar will be sidelined for the remainder of the season, unable to wear the Brazilian number 10, a season cut short by injury, as has been the case far too often. Suddenly, the Brazilian considered leaving Paris, but where would he go? The 31-year-old was no longer the hot prospect he once was, at least in Europe, so he made a controversial decision that dominated international headlines. I'm here in Saudi Arabia. I am Hilali. Neymar chose to follow in the footsteps of CR7 and Benzema by joining Al Hilali in the Saudi Pro League. The Brazilian stated that he wanted to take on new challenges, but it was also reported that, like Messi, he wanted to rekindle his love and enthusiasm for the game away from the intense pressure that European giants placed on their players. Of course, a whopping $130 million per year compensation helped. The Saudis also offered PSG a $120 million transfer fee, which they immediately realized was an excellent opportunity to profit from him. Some claim Neymar intends to return to Europe, or maybe Brazil before the 2026 World Cup, but there's still a long way to go until then. He may never have reached his full potential, but Neymar's football career is one of brilliance, flair, and unrealized grandeur. He wowed the world with his talent, provided joy to millions, and produced wonderful memories that will be treasured for years. Even though he did not fulfill all of his potential, Neymar's reputation as one of the football's brightest stars is indisputable. He'll be remembered as a player who, on his day, was impenetrable, leaving fans and critics alike in awe of his skill, while also leaving us wondering what heights he may have achieved if circumstances had changed. Thank you so much for watching the video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure to hit that notification bell so you're notified every time we post a new video.